Hey, this is Nate and Eric from the band In the Whale.
And you're watching Alive and Loud.
Welcome to Alive and Loud. Today, our guests are In the Whale, all the way from Colorado.
Woo!
How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
Good.
Good. So I have got Eric, our drummer here, and I've got my friend Nate.
What's up, man? Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. So the funny thing is I actually met these guys about, what was it you say, about 2 years ago? Has it been two?
On the 10 years tour?
Yeah, the 10 years tour.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And from the second that I listened to their music on the way down, I was like, man, I can't wait to see these guys perform. Man, they did not let down. And it was just absolutely killer. And we got to talking after the show. And I was just like, I can't wait to see more from this band. So I knew once our show started to get rolling that I had to have you guys on. So what have you guys been up to?
Well, the pandemic. Are we able to? Is it okay if we curse?
Absolutely.
Okay, the pandemic fucked us big time. For a while there, we were just sitting on our hands doing nothing. Had a bunch of amazing shit lined up that all got canceled. Just working jobs and just hating the world, hating our own existence. We had a record that was supposed to be out summer 2020 that we had to postpone because we couldn't tour.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, we've been just playing some social distance shows here and there.
But that wasn't until way later when everything first hit, we were leaving Seattle.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, LA. I don't know when I was thinking Seattle. I don't know. I haven't seen a globe in years. I forget. I'm like I don't know, public school kid now when it comes to like geography. I have no idea. Point where Israel is on the map. Is it Georgia?
Yes.
Is it Georgia?
It's Georgia.
I'm thinking it's Georgia. Yeah, I don't know. It was beginning of it. It's like it hit so hard and so fast. It was like Eric was saying, we had all these things lined up. Our manager was like, "Yep, we got these festivals. You're going to this. You're doing this."
Yeah, we were like, basically, our team was telling us like, get your ducks in a row because this ride's gonna get insane by midsummer. Like it's gonna be, quit your jobs, the whole thing. So we were very excited.
Oh wow, that's a lot to live up to. Yeah,
we just sit at home and work and.
Yeah, I pull rich people's weeds and cut their grass for a living, so that's cool.
There is no shame in that, man. You got to do what you got to do in these times.
I agree with that. But
check clears.
Yeah.
So let's go on tour, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we were playing some social distance shows, and since then we've been just working with our label and our management, just put out a bunch of singles one by one.
That you did.
And we're just working on. Since then, we've been just working on ways to interact with our fans online, coming up with different merchandise ideas, posters, shirts to just sell to people and make a little money, and also just to continue to interact with our fans. Hope just in any way that we can. We did a live stream this summer. Just in any way that we can do it without going on tour is
We talked off before we started the recording with Brandon about our merchandise, and he was saying that we have good merch, and thank you for that.
Nate uses his art miner all the fucking time.
Woo! You got to do whatever you can just to survive, and there's a lot of bands that I know that are not as well off as we were when we first came into it, and I feel bad, but a lot of them they're no longer bands, or they're not there. A lot of our friends that are touring musicians or touring like staff or TMs or whatever, they're hurting really bad.
A lot of these
really took a toll on a lot of people.
What's that?
It took a big toll on a lot of people,
big time.
And I think that's why I was saying, like, honestly, there's no shame that you're pulling weeds and mowing grass or doing what you got to do, whatever it takes to keep the lights on, man. There's been more times where I'm on Facebook and I'll see somebody who was a TM at one point and now they're working at like Lowe's, and you know what? Like, I don't have any negative connotations towards that person, because this person could have a family or whatever. And as long as you're putting food on their table and clothes on their back, that's what matters, man. Like the music is going to be there. And that's the best thing about this industry, is that music will always be there. So we just have to take care of ourselves until music is ready to come back.
I'm interested to see how everything comes back. I'm a little weary that already some of my interaction with some venues, it's like, man, you were about ready to close the doors, and you're really gonna go and throw this percentage rate at me? Okay, all right,
Yep.
that's real. All right, but I guess
the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, I'm a little worried, but we'll see.
Absolutely. So you were talking, Eric, you were talking about, releasing single after single. The single that I've been listening to, and I'm sure our viewers are going to do it, right?
Fucking
because Smoke Break, May 28th, was released. And I have to say, this is definitely one of those songs that is a good burn for me. Like I was going down the road, and I think I was going to get gas the other day, and our gas station is literally like a couple blocks down the road, and I was not ready to park the car and get out. I was ready to continue listening to the song.
Yes.
So what was it like to write this one specifically? Because this one to me feels like it stands out just a little bit more above the rest.
These were all written so long ago. It was like 2018 or even like late 2017. They were written during, I would consider it one of the darkest points of my life.
Okay.
And it was dismally bad. I was very depressed. I was very suicidal ideations, and just not in a safe, place. Mostly from touring and so much, and being 34 years old and going, what the hell am I doing with my life? Kind of things like that nature. So I wrote it, and it's funny how well I think it fits for after this whole pandemic situation, and the people that are our friends that are in the same boat that I was years ago, where they're extremely depressed. Like when Eric came in here, he's like, let's go on tour. It's like you could see he's about at it too. It's like maybe there's a lot of that I'm seeing. So writing it and then seeing that it's applicable now, and then releasing it for the month of May for Mental Health Awareness Month. It's like it felt right to do that.
That's awesome. And that's something I'm really happy to hear, man. And I kind of assumed it, but you always love to hear it vocally from a band, is how important mental health is, especially when you're an artist that's out there all the time, away from your family, your loved ones, your kids, your wives, whoever it is. And, music is like, for me, that's like I was telling you before we started recording, that's the one thing that got me into this is music, is like mental health and music cross so perfectly well. And there's a song for every occasion, it seems like.
Music is so important. And I feel like really confused when I meet people that are just like, it's okay. Or I don't like
just
live
connect.
music. I'm like, it doesn't I don't understand. I guess I don't understand this person.
Yeah. Like the biology is just strange, because like I nerd out. Sometimes I get super emotional, especially with like heavy stuff. And that's where people like don't understand me. They're like, how do you even understand what they're saying in this song? Like, how's this like affecting you emotionally? It's like, well, just with if it was Mariah Carey, you're going to read the lyrics at some point, right? So what the lyrics are, kind of where this artist is coming from, and you kind of feel whatever emotion it was at the time. So you don't have to understand the lyrics.
They're like, I love when people are like, how do you listen to this screaming stuff? I can't understand the words. And then they're going to put on a fucking mumble rapper.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Calling the kettle black, huh?
Yeah.
It's, well, I mean, to his plight, it's like, you've got stuff talking about like illicit drugs or whatever, but then you've got someone like you guys who are writing from experience and from personal pain, and you're putting it in your music, and you're exposing yourself. Essentially, that's what you're doing, is you're exposing yourself, and you're kind of stripping away the veil. And it, like, this is a look into what I've dealt with in the past. So that's a lot more admirable than, you know, somebody just talking
People-
about going down the street and shooting hose.
I think music for me should reflect every spectrum of life, you know. So I think, you know, there's a place for pop, there's a place for metal, there's a place for, you know, when you're angry, you listen to this, when you're sad, you listen to that. So
Definitely.
I think it's all, but when you just go to one avenue, I think it's, you know, you're sort of cheating yourself out of a lot of other stuff, you know.
Definitely.
So
And as a artist or musician, I mean, people can smell insincerity a mile away. So why
Big
would,
time.
you know, we got to only do what we're gonna do, and I can't hate on Mariah Carey because she's killing it and selling more money or more records than I'll ever have money wise. But at the same time, it's like I can only do what we do, you know. So
Right.
yeah, we've gone down this path before. We're like, why don't we just write a pop song and make a bunch of money? And it's like, it's not.
it doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
It's
when we
forced.
can't, when it's forced, it just doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
not- people know.
It'd be
So
more
we're not
fun
gonna
if, like,
do
a
that.
spur of the moment, you guys were on stage and you're like, you know what, we should cover like a Bruno Mars song, but play it our way.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
Everyone does that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that.
But it's whenever the artist is completely going off to the left and they're saying, okay, well, we're just going to completely go pop. And I know we were metal this last album cycle, but now we're putting in synth and everything, which I'm not dogging synth or anything. I love synth, but you know, it's when the artist kind of just really,
Hard left turn.
yeah, hard
You
left.
know, there's a band that did that. We played with the band Lit. Do you remember them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man,
You know their
yeah.
song. What's it?
My own.
We're sleeping on the front yard, and
Yeah.
and we played with them, and it was a
Mhm.
great show. But halfway through their set, they're starting to move a direction all country.
Really?
Believe me, it's a new record that they just put out. It's all country, and I guess they were in the top 40. So I mean, it's not like they're not doing well.
Yeah.
It's just such a hard
Yeah.
switch for me that it's like,
In a way, also though, it's sort of like they're being true to themselves. They want to play
Right.
country. They're going to play country. It's like a fine line you have to
you're
draw.
gonna lose some fans, but
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, if it's what you want to do, but yeah. And that's the thing, like I said, I've always respected about you guys as your drive. You know, you did that was a sizable tour, that 10 years tour, if I remember correctly.
yeah, it was a couple weeks, right?
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah. And,
Being
but like
local.
the map they had you all on was like just so everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, man, how are these guys? Like, you guys didn't show an ounce of tiredness on stage or off stage. And I was like, that's awesome.
I remember that show. I slept in the back room before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I slept in a little weird side room. It has this really steep ways up to the stage. I remember going, I need a nap before I can even go up there again.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were tired, but
Oh yeah. Well, it didn't show, so that's the good thing. But you know, you're human, so
Right.
if there'd be one venue that you could go and play like right now, like, you know, it was go time for In the Whale, where would you want to start?
9:30 Club, DC.
930 Club. DC?
DC.
Why there?
It's the shit.
It's the best.
The greatest venue.
We
ever.
played it one time early in our touring career.
Mhm.
We were there with the presidents of the United States of America, and it was the best experience. You know, we were talking earlier how Colorado spoils everybody with these really great venues. This is the first experience I had been, like the day before we played to one person. So
And that's not an exaggeration.
not one, the sound guy left.
We wait, let's back up a second.
Yeah, we have a lot of good stories.
This is like really early on, and the shows in DC, starting the tour with the presidents of the United States of America.
Yeah.
So we booked a couple shows to get down there, played Kansas City, and
I think we also played St. Louis on that run.
Right.
It was just two little puddle jumps before we get there.
and then we had to drive 2 days. But we played Kansas City, and the big record store in town was closing, and they were having this big, like, sort of last day party, and all the like big local bands were playing, and they were doing all these crazy sales for records. So everyone local was going to that, and then Everclear was playing a show, like a free show, like a mile from the venue.
Oh, those dudes are killer live still.
So it was us. The sound guy left. The person running the show left. She went to the record store to go to that show after she got us set up. And
Goodness.
one guy came, and we rocked it in front of him. And
Shout out to that one fan.
He's our merch guy now.
Yeah.
No
we
kidding.
For us.
Yeah, we go pick him up from Kansas City and we go and take him on runs. Like
That
he was
is
at the
awesome.
10-year tour.
Yep, I remember him. He was awesome.
Kansas
The
City
redheaded
Dave.
dude, yeah. But we went from one person, and then literally 2 days later, it was almost 1,000 people.
Yeah, I specifically remember I was looking at the merch at your table, and I was like, you know, what do I look? And then I had my aha moment, like I knew what I was gonna pick, and then I pointed at it. He goes, "My man, that's a good."
Yes.
Kansas City Dave.
That's right.
Yep. Shout out to Kansas City Dave.
Right.
Shout out Dave.
Man, he's been and done some weird things. We've done some weird tours.
Yeah, Dave hadn't really been outside of Kansas that much when he came with us on our first run with him, and like he got to see the ocean for the first time and shit, and went to like the Washington Monument, and like it was cool to see like all the stuff through his eyes, because we're all so jaded being on tour. We're like, oh, we've seen this 1,000 times. He's like, oh my god, the fucking ocean. He like ran in with all his clothes on.
Yeah,
He was so excited.
I'm
Like, man, this thing is pretty fucking cool that we do.
It was really cool to like see it through his eyes.
Yeah, totally.
So all right, so that's where you want to start. What is like if you could build up a tour, like I don't care if you're direct support or headlining, like what would you put together right now that would be like your dream assemble, given the state that we were in still in a global pandemic, but you know, music is coming back, touring's coming back, so you know, In the Well's getting ready to hit the road. Who you want to hit the road with?
Deftones.
That would be a top one. I mean, there's a way to go before we can get there, but
Oh, I don't know. Chino promotes bands of every caliber, and you're above some of the bands that I've seen him promote lately. So,
well, be sure to tell him.
Yeah,
we try to get on the radar for a long time.
just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I gotta say, because you're striking it.
For me,
so Deftones, yeah, that'd be great.
For me, He Is Legend.
He's Legend would be great.
A killer tour.
Thrice would be great.
Yeah.
Death from Above would be an awesome tour. Clutch would be a great tour. Let's see, who else am I thinking about here? Oh, Chevelle, man. I just re-listened to all my Chevelle records. I was like, holy shit, I was not ready for this when I was a kid.
Those dudes slap.
Dude, I saw them one time, and for those that are watching and saw our curtain move, my dog walked by. We don't have ghosts. It's just but yeah, I saw him one time in Denver, and I was standing in the aisle, and the guy's like, you gotta find your seat. And I'm like, no, wait, I just need it. What's this song? It's just so good. It was
Chevelle is like one of those live bands that does not let down.
Very underrated too.
Yeah, I believe so. Great band.
Their Door to Door Cannibals album, front to back. Absolutely insane. The new record they just dropped was phenomenal as well.
I haven't heard the new anything.
Oh, you know who? I just thought of a good one. System of a Down.
Oh, that'd be fun.
For System of a Down.
That would be great.
We did a tour with, not that they're comparable, but Go-Go Bordello, and it was surprising to me that their fans loved us as much as they did. We got a lot of good response.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't personally mind to see, you know, like a Spirit Box tour with you guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're so hot right now. That damn Spirit Box. They're so hot right now. Yeah, they're good. They're a great band.
I was waiting for the Mugatu reference. You do not let down Eric.
Don't let down Eric.
No, that's a tour that I think would, like, you look at a bill with some of these shows and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I could see this band opening for that band, or I could see this band headlining with these guys, you know. Right. Spirit Box, Chevelle, In the Whale.
That'd be a great tour.
I would love that.
What's a band you've seen as a photographer? You're like, what is this band even doing on the stage of this other band?
As in, like, they should be headlining, or as in they
should? No.
That they're the opposite.
No, that they're built well. Like in on paper, it looks good. All the research you did, and they were just poop on stage. And maybe it's not good to go and shit on other bands right now.
Just don't say the name.
Yeah, you don't have to say the name. Does it happen a lot?
No.
Really?
No, the cool thing, and this is going to seem like bragging a little bit, but I only work with the artists that I can connect with. You know what I mean? Like I research my shows, like I'm able to assign them myself, and then me and my friend Charlie will go after and we'll hit up the artist publicist, or if we have a personal connection like you guys and I do, we'll work through you guys. But I don't. If I hear rumors that an artist is not savory or whatever, I just won't reach out. I won't make the effort. You know, I want to connect with their music as well as be able to connect with them as people. If I've heard stories of them like not being good to fans, that's an automatic red flag for me.
That's good.
Just because like I started this as a fan, you know, I was a fan. I'm still a fan of live music and of music. And if I was to go to a show and meet an artist that I've been listening to for so many years and they were just complete douches, I would feel gutted, you know. And I get that people have, you know, that touring is not this glorified thing that the movies have made it out to be. You know,
what is that? Why does everyone like, man, are you going on vacation? Are you gonna have fun on vacation? I'm like, dude, I got bed bugs yesterday. What do you mean?
Right.
I don't get that at my house.
And it's like, you know, yeah, it's a catch-22 really, and I've never gone on tour. I'm still, hopefully one day I'll be touring with a band, but you know, it's like, yes, it's awesome that you get to go all over the country or over to Europe and promote music that you have written and, you know, perform for people. I'm sure it's amazing. I can't even imagine, because I love taking pictures of you guys when you're doing it. But there's also the other side of it where it's like, you know, maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe you had car trouble. Some people don't have tour buses. Some people have just fleet vans, and that's their communication or their transportation. And you know, it's like there you have to add all these factors. Maybe something went wrong with the venue before. So I get that, you know, an artist is going to have a bad day, and maybe you caught them on that one bad day. But for me personally, I don't want to go to a show where I feel like I'm just not going to connect with the music. I'm not going to connect with the artist or the crew, you know. And that's something that I also don't just go out and bug the artist because I'm taking pictures at their show. It's like, oh, look, there's a guy who puts up, you know, the lighting. You know, it'd be cool to kind of talk to him, see how he's doing. And I like to connect with everybody. That's why on this show, we're not just having bands, we're having, you know, videographers, we're going to have tour managers, we're going to have, you know, front of house guys. And
crew guys have the greatest stories.
Oh my God.
The best stories.
So good. There's so many. We could write a book on just all the crew stories we've heard.
Yeah.
I love crew stories. And that's the thing, because, you know, if it wasn't for the crew, you know, we wouldn't have this wonderfully produced live show that, you know, you guys get to perform. So we have to look at this music community as a whole, as a real community. And that's what I want to do on this podcast, is treat it as such and give everybody recognition, not just chasing clout with an artist and saying, oh, you know, I talked to Nickelback. It's like, yeah, but Nickelback did not get to put on that live show without their sound guy, without their front of house, without their TM, without people driving a bus, without people driving all those semis. So, you know,
it's a small little village that's moving. And,
absolutely.
And it's a very, the people we've met, it's like, oh, this one guy knows everyone that we know. It's so weird when you can go and say, oh yeah, I met Rhino down in Austin, Texas. He's like, oh, the TM for this, he's also this. And we've been friends for years. It's such a small community. So also, like, you know how you're saying, you know, you want to connect with a band that you know that aren't douches. It's that shit travels fast. When you find out like, oh, this guy and this band's a dickhead, it's like, man, I don't know if I want to work with them. So it's like, just be a nice person. That's kind of
absolutely
half the battle.
Yeah, just being a nice person.
Yeah, and not for nothing, but, you know, and I'm genuinely not trying to stroke your ego off. That's why you're here. You know, it's one of those things where, like, I want good people to be successful, and I'm not trying to say that this podcast is going to be successful. For God's sakes, we just started. Please let's be successful. Please. But you're here, and that's great, because we just want to promote people like you guys. We want to promote people who are just hardworking musicians and guys that actually happen to create kick-ass music. So that's why you're here, and that's what we want our show to be about.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad someone's doing this. It's
yeah.
about time. It's about damn time. People notice how good people we are.
Finally, we get the recognition we deserve.
But it's true. It's very true. Like, and there's a thing in photography realm called pit etiquette. And if you don't follow pit etiquette, if say you're at a Thrice concert and you're acting like an asshole with all these other photographers or the fans, or you're just conducting yourself in a non-professional way, that is going to travel, and the ripple effect of that is so much larger than you even realize. So you might be at another show later on, and someone who's connected to that band or caught wind of it, they could just take you out of the photo pit and say, no, you're not, nope, or even prevent you from even getting approved to be at that show.
Really? Give me some, what is a pit etiquette? Well, give me like what are some things like what? Don't take photos.
So for me, I try to think of myself as somebody who is like on crack. I don't stay in one spot more than like 2 seconds to take pictures. I try to hit all the angles. Plus, you got all these fans that paid tickets, paid for their tickets to get in to see you guys. I don't want to obstruct their view. I don't want to be at a concert and look at some photographer who's like any height. I don't care. I'm 5'7". I'm not large, but I mean, I've seen photographers that are like 6'2" and like built. I don't want that person standing in front of me for 3 songs, like.
Yeah,
I know it's only 3 songs of a set of maybe 15, but still, I paid money to be a rail warrior, and I don't want to look at this guy's neck.
That's a good point. I guess I never really would have thought of that.
So I try to I work the pit, or like at that venue in Lexington, there was I don't know if you remember the huge ass fan that was in the middle of that room.
Yes.
So
and the stage is super duper high.
Yeah. So behind that fan was a balcony, like a little balcony that you could see. So I use my huge lens and I go back to get shots of you guys, but with like a huge crowd format in the foreground. And it just adds to the flair of the photos. Like if you have access to shoot all over the house, sometimes take advantage of it. You got 3 songs in the pit, keep moving around, and then go shoot from the house and just keep moving around. So you're not in anybody's way and you're not being a distraction, because I think of concerts as church. That's where I belong.
Nice. Well, yeah, I didn't even realize that. I guess pit etiquette.
Plus, it always helps to score. Like if you want to promote yourself, guys throw guitar picks and drumsticks and sweaty towels from like R. Kelly or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, I need this. And so they're like, oh, can you get that? Can you get that? And you're like taking pictures and then you hear them tap your shoulder. And then you look back and they're like, can you get that guitar pick? You're like, he just threw it at me. And then everyone's like, no, he threw it at me. So you're just like, oh, in that moment, you get to be the hero or the villain. So it's like, I got the guitar pick. It's like, who is this going to? Who is this going to? Okay, it's going to you. I always try to find the kids in the audience, though.
That's smart. That's cool.
But yeah, man, just conduct yourselves professionally in the photo pit. Anybody watching this that's a photographer, don't be a douche, please.
You have a good story of a photographer that was not following set. That's a good story.
There was a show in Cincinnati, and I'll leave out the name of the artist just because I've only shot one show in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And
like look it up on your stuff right now. Got it. I know who it was.
Yeah. Well, there was about 30 photographers in the pit. It was a pretty big artist.
Jesus.
And where you stopped, like when they walk you in, is where you stayed for the whole show. I had just started doing this thing, so I had one small fixed lens and a cheaper like zoom lens, right? But I didn't have anything to hold my other lens. I just had one camera. So I'm rocking the dad cargo shorts at the time, and I'm like swapping lenses out and hoping to God I don't break them. Right. Well, I get to the point where the lead singer comes over to where I'm standing, and he kneels down in front of me, and he like stays there for like a minute and a half, and I'm just like holding my finger down on the trigger. It's like, whatever. If I get it, I get it. I'm just spraying and praying. And then I look at all the other photographers and they're just like all pissed because he did not do that for anyone else. And I'm not saying he did it for me, but it just so happened,
Right.
you know.
Wow.
And then we're all walking back to the meetup spot to collect the rest of our stuff and leave the venue, or to go back out and watch the rest of the show without a camera. And they're just like giving me mean glares, and I'm like, God, what did I do? You know,
I
like
mean, you didn't do it on purpose.
no, I was coming away thinking I'm not going to get a shot off at all because, like, for one, that stage was deep. That was a deep stage, and I didn't have the gear to really capture that kind of a show.
Mm.
But I was not going to turn down the caliber of artist. You know what I mean? That was like, I don't belong here, but I'm here anyway, so I'm going to make the most out of it.
Right.
And you have all these seasoned guys who've been doing this for like 20, 30 plus years, and they've got a great track record.
And they're pissed as hell.
And they're pissed as hell because the one time they didn't fall in line correctly, and this new guy got the shot.
What are you gonna do?
Did you get the shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. We know who it is. Very nice.
The way
Yes.
the cookie crumbles sometimes, man.
But you know what? It was really funny. Most of everybody there was like really happy for me, honestly. But there was one, and I just can't remember the name of this guy. And I'm pretty sure I even like tried really hard to be like, I'm sorry. Should I be sorry? But I am sorry. I don't know. I just met you. Anyway, like, nice to meet you. I gotta go.
Right.
And yeah, but it was awesome. And if I only came away with that one shot that night, I mean, that's the ticket right there.
Cool.
But yeah,
Very cool.
you know, just pit etiquette, man. Like, and if you ever want to work with an artist again, don't be a douche, because you know, a lot of these artists that are up there playing shows are paying attention big time. You know, they care about their fans, and they're like, you've seen all these shows where like an artist will stop mid show or mid song or whatever and call out somebody in the fan that's fighting or whatever.
Right.
And you know, that shit's real. I've been to a lot of concerts where that's happened. So I try to put myself in the position of, okay, I'm not going to be the one in the crowd fighting, but if I'm the one in the photo pit that's right in front of the artist making a fool of myself, if he's going to call out somebody in the very back of a 10,000 cap venue, I'm definitely going to get my shit rocked by this celebrity.
Right.
So I don't want nothing to do with it, and just be a good human, you know?
Right. Right.
But definitely. So I want to ask, what are your future plans as far as a band, you know, for this coming year? What do you guys have in the chamber?
We got a little bit of touring coming up that is starting to unveil itself. Unveil? Yeah, reveal. Yeah, unveil itself. I don't know why it sounded weird. I haven't spoke to anybody in a long time. So we have that coming up, and then maybe some other touring. I mean, just back at business as usual eventually.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be at a position where it's like we're totally vaccinated and ready to ride. The rest of the US is catching up as much as they will or can be. So once that happens, and once we meet that, I guess, CDC criteria, we're going to be like full on. So I guess touring and releasing this new record, hopefully.
Yeah. Hoping,
awesome.
trying to find the exact right time to do it. You know, whether it's, if we can get a support tour, doing it then, or in the middle of one of our tours, or just whenever could be a good time. Just trying to figure that out still. So
do we have a full like 11 plus record set?
Seven songs. Yeah.
Seven songs. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. I love a good LP.
Right. We were going to, I mean, our whole thing and our whole principle from the very, very beginning is always just put out lots of music as fast as you can, money dependent, and recording at 606 Studio with Steve Evitz and all this stuff is not cheap, but if you want to do it right, you have to go and you got to pay the piper a little bit.
Absolutely. So do we have a music video in the works, maybe?
Just the one we did for this last one we did for Smoke Break was the latest one. Hopefully,
I think Smoke Break will probably be the last single we put out, so that'll probably be we did a video for 4 songs, videos for 4 songs, so that'll probably be the last for this record cycle.
Okay.
Unless something comes
And for
up.
those of you that have not seen the Smoke Break music video, I'm going to put that down in the description so you guys can follow them and find all of the content that you need for In the Whale. Because these guys throw down, and you're not going to be disappointed if you haven't heard of them. And that's on you.
yeah, we're everywhere. I don't know how you.
They're everywhere. That literally, these guys travel everywhere. So it's not my fault you haven't heard of them. Just do your research. You know what I mean? But no. So we've talked about, you know, the single. We've talked about doing music videos. Where you want to play. What's been your favorite memory before, you know, everything got shut down?
Wow.
Before everything got shut down, like directly before it, or like, are you talking about as a career?
Recently, like what, like you said you were in Seattle before all this like really hit the fan.
LA. Sorry, I
LA.
messed that up.
Okay.
We were just doing a sold out show at the El Rey with Poison the Well. It was their 20-year anniversary of opposite of December.
Gotcha.
And it was awesome. It was like, it felt like you could, like we were untouchable. It felt like the future is going to be so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And our management was telling us the exact same thing. And they're like, tomorrow you're going into the studio, right? You take that energy that you just had at this awesome sold out show, record this new record, which everyone's been hearing. And then the world's going to be your oyster, and that's it. You're ready to ride, man. It's going to be finally all those 10 years of grinding and sleeping in terrible places and missing family funerals and missing people, like nephews being born, and it's all going to be worth it. All going to be worth it, because this next year, 2019, it's going to be or 2020 is going to be just untouchable. Now we're here.
Yeah.
For me, I think we did a tour with Local H in 2019, which was just a perfect fit for us.
Yeah.
Their fans just ate out of the palm of our hands. It was a fucking awesome tour. Took Dave out, had a fucking great time. The whole thing, sold a shitload of merch, played some amazing shows, small packed shows. For me, that was probably the greatest memory right before the pandemic. Was like fall of 2019.
Wow. I have not been to a Local H show in a while, but
those guys rip.
Doesn't matter.
They
Just go.
rip.
Don't even take photos. Just go.
Good. See, that's the thing with me. Like, if I see an artist that's coming that I'm just like completely like I've got to go, and then I'm like kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like get the approval or not. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm literally buying a ticket.
Sure.
I don't care.
Smart.
I don't care. But I'll pack the camera just in case anything happens, because you never know.
Right. You could be sitting outside and like, oh yeah, come on in, take some photos, or like what we were doing after our show, just sitting in. You and I talked for like an hour beside a terrible dumpster, but it
smelled so bad.
So bad. I don't know, what are they doing in there?
I don't know. I was pretty sure there was a body.
I mean,
it is Kentucky. You don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened on the road, right? I mean, that for me was a 3-hour drive. So I can't imagine for you, that was probably.
Well, that was, if I remember right, we also had a timing belt mess up on the van.
Yeah. Eric had to go find one, didn't he?
No, we cut the AC belt because it was chirping so much. It was like, come to find out, we actually blew a piston head. So we got back to Denver. It kept going. The van is.
We're lucky we got home.
Yeah, it was a stout little vehicle. But, you know, things you learn on the road, you know. I'm a better mechanic than I'll ever be anything else.
Yeah, no one tells you when you're playing a rock band that musician is one of 10 things you have to do. You got to be a musician, graphic designer, mechanic,
right,
PR person, social media manager,
right?
You know,
you have to be able to design.
You got to be a jack of all trades.
Right.
Pretty much,
so I really, Eric, you've got a really unique playing style, and I was gonna ask, who are your influences as far as like a drummer?
Oh my gosh. Well, early on, when I was in high school and stuff, it was Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater.
Killer.
I really gravitated towards guys like that. Like Morgan Rose of Seven Dust was a big guy for me. Like guys that were just like drumming personalities, you know, more than just drummers. Those two were pretty big for me. Abe Cunningham from Deftones, how he just sort of makes it heavy, but also mixes like groove in, you know, like really lays in the pocket and doesn't just fucking play straight. I mean, recent guys, Josh Freeze, who's played with everybody.
Yeah.
Elon Rubin, who plays with Nine Inch Nails, and a bunch of other guys.
Were you ever into like Joey from I guess Queens of Stone Age, and
I like
and he's in the Bronx as well.
Yeah, he's pretty. I kind of liked. I mean, Dave Grohl, another great drumming personality. I kind of like Dave Grohl better, or John Theodore.
John Theodore,
who's the current guy for Queens, who was also in Mars Volta.
Mars Volta, right?
That's another guy who hits. It was super heavy, but also like lays down the pocket. You know, I'm really into that, where it's just like, you know, like Matt Halpern of Periphery, another guy that just
hell yeah,
just swings. You know,
what is that guy? He's ambidextrous. He's Stars Mistaken as Planes, like with that.
Travis Orban.
Yeah, is that him?
He played for Sky Eats Airplane.
Sky Eats Airplane.
Plays with Darkest Hour now.
That's right. That guy's insane.
He's a monster. Yeah.
Like seeing him do the exact same rhythm with the opposite.
Yeah.
Part
he's
of
like
body.
ambidextrous. Yeah.
It's like
crazy. But yeah, I love guys that are animated and like drumming personalities.
Right.
Rather than just drummers. And yeah, I love a heavy drummer that lays down a groove as well.
Okay. All right. I respect that, especially because I didn't know that last part. So within the well, the most unique thing, and I had this picture pulled up, and of course I lost my place, so I'm trying to go back. This shot right here, I credit to the photographer, but I'm just gonna put this out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that screams passion, and you can tell that you really love doing what you do, Eric. And you know, to be able to drum and to sing is definitely a unique art these days.
He can't. He doesn't even just do that. If I break my microphone, he can sing all the lyrics from all the songs. There's been times where I've like knocked the microphone over, and he's just like starts singing the parts and his part too. So it's not just like his parts. He can do everything.
I think honestly, when I started learning to play the drums, and I would just sit down and play, I was playing along to just my favorite music, you know. So I sit down, put on Green Day, Dookie, and just play along with the stuff that I listen to in regular life. So it was sort of natural to play and just sort of sing along with the music while I played.
That's awesome.
So it sort of just came like that, where I just got comfortable doing that, you know, singing and playing just singing to myself. So when the time came to actually join a band and perform, it was almost kind of like second nature.
Yeah, it was really organic for you, huh?
Yeah. You may be the only drummer I know that knows lyrics. No, Bill Stevenson is the other one. Yeah, Bill Stevenson.
No, he's not lying. There's not a lot of drummers that could do that, and that was one of the
fucking
things
hard, man. Honestly, it's really tough.
And I honestly didn't know that about you. Whenever, like, before you guys took the stage, I had no idea that you were going to be singing. I had only heard you guys on the record, and I was like, holy shit, this dude's like screaming. Oh my God. And then you were playing guitar, and I was like, okay, all right, we've got a concert here. I'm looking back, and some people are like on their phones, and I'm like, get off your goddamn phone and watch this band. That it blew me away. I was like, to that point, I've honestly never seen anyone else do that before. So that was a real treat. And I guess if I had to ask the same question, what would be your influences as far as a guitar player, songwriter, and singer?
You know, a lot of people don't like this artist because of his moodiness, but the Smiths, like Morrissey, is actually a very clever lyricist. I like that sarcasm. It's not really what we go for, but I do appreciate that it existed. Now, guitar-wise, Smashing Pumpkins, or Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, was really early on Smashing Pumpkins, like right after Gish, you know, like Siamese Dream, and all the way up to
Zero
Zeitgeist. Like all of that guitar playing is like, it's really, really, really good. guitar players also like Silverchair, like that. What's his name?
Daniel Johns.
Jeez, that guy's and his beautiful child boys. He was like 18, we were like 17.
They were younger than that. Actually.
Right.
They were like 15 when they first came out.
Yeah, I've really just those are big influences.
Yeah.
Also a lot of punk stuff, with Bad Brains and stuff, which was important to know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what we play at all, but it's.
Did you ever dive into like the early punk, like pre-90s punk?
Like what band are you talking about?
Anything that's not like what a lot of people would say like mainstream punk.
Like Black Flag and
Like
DI
Black Flag,
and
The Cure.
Yeah.
We actually toured with DOA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And Agent Orange.
Yeah, toured with Agent Orange.
Agent Orange is awesome.
Yeah, we've toured with all those bands. So like it was definitely listened to.
Who's like one of your favorite founding fathers of punk?
Bill Stevenson, probably. I mean, from everything from Descendants to like playing with Black Flag to all these bands. I mean, he's curated so many bands. There wouldn't be a lot of, I feel like, the more modern punk if it wasn't for Bill.
Wild how all of this stuff comes full circle, especially into any genre. Like you can have a country artist really inspire somebody in the metal community and vice versa, and you actually had the crossover of rap and country, with Nelly and Tim McGraw, and no one thought that would work, and it did. And it's just comes to show you that music is just one large vessel, and you never know.
I thought this the other day. I mean, when you look at hip hop right now and how much metal is influencing it, like how much how much these new rappers love hardcore and metal artists. I feel like we spent as metal fans the past 30 years criticizing hip hop and saying how it's so you don't need to have any talent to do it and shit. And I feel like if we had all just come together, and influenced each other, maybe heavy music would be in a different spot than it is,
For sure.
because these guys are just taking over. Hip hop's taking over. It's like, and we're all just crotchety old guys just sitting around like, you can't, if we had just embraced each other, it would have been a better thing for both of us,
For sure. But I feel like, honestly, like rock and metal, especially metal right now, has got a huge resurgence.
Totally.
Like old metal,
oh hell yeah. Like,
I mean, even new metal, of course, but like
but no, you're not wrong. Like I was looking earlier, and like you got all these bands that have been doing it for decades, and they're starting to write again.
Yeah,
they're tired of sitting on the sidelines and watching some of these like younger guys not take it seriously. And I guess
like, hold my beer, I got this.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
coming in.
Hold my beer. But then you got a lot of bands, man, that have been coming out of the woodwork, and it seems like the UK is producing some killer artists right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just the other day, I was talking to the band Caskets from Leeds, UK, and those guys, I'm telling you, those dudes are on the precipice of blowing the fuck up. Just killer guys, really nice people, but their music is phenomenal, and I feel like they're the type of band that could throw that curveball, like what their sound is right now on Octane or whatever. You might wake up to a new single that just might melt your face off. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about the way that music is now, is like a rock artist or a metal artist can really expand or kind of like throw you a curveball that you might not have expected. And it's a banger,
Yeah,
totally.
So I'll ask you a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you all too long here, but I know you said that writing from like personal experience and like mental health is so crucial. Yeah. So do you find yourself writing songs more from that aspect of like pulling from personal experiences a lot, or do you find yourself maybe kind of creating in your own head like a story and then maybe writing a lyric from that, or like what's really the songwriting process?
The songwriting is a lot of experience. It is also like how I've in the past been able to deal with a situation. I'm not very articulate when it comes to the moment. In fact, I kind of shut down. I'm not really sure what's going on. Like when someone passes, I don't have the words. So music for me was a therapy of sorts, putting it together to make it into something that I can understand my feelings and understand how to digest the situation. So, I mean, there are situations that we write from that are kind of maybe more abstract.
Yeah.
I mean, early in the whale was definitely that. We've kind of changed, or we have changed. Life has changed. So we've changed. And how I write is more, I want to be honest, I guess, is what I'm really trying for. And it's hard to do because it puts yourself in a position where it's like, yes, I was thinking about killing myself at one time. Does it make me weak? I don't think so, but I would like to tell others that are maybe going through the same situation, you know what? There's some beauty that you can find there, and there's something better. So why go and talk about wake up every morning with a bottle, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack, and just have this kind of bullshit existence?
Yeah.
I mean, is that alcoholism? Do you need to talk about that instead of just making like we're partying? Let's be real. Let's like, you can have fun songs and you can talk about the good things. But, I mean, life is pain in a way. I mean, what you do with that is important. So it's like, well, I'm going to use that pain to make it into something that maybe someone can relate and maybe it'll help them.
Hell yeah.
I think songs and recordings are always just sort of a snapshot of moments in time. These are our moments, that we're putting out.
I love how proud you guys are of that band. There's not a lot of people who touch on it and speak up about what it's been like for them. So you guys have a massive amount of respect from me on that, because mental health is very, very important to me personally. I've dealt with it more in my life than I care to admit, but it's gotten, I think these trials and dealing with stuff like that, it's all pushed us to where we're at currently, and where I'm at currently, never been happier. Sure. And we're all gonna have those up and down moments, but the one thing is that music is always going to be there for us, and that's more than anyone can ask for.
Yeah.
So Nate, I want to ask, you have an interesting way of doing things with merch. We were talking about that. So I know a lot of bands have like names for their fans, right? They'll give like nicknames for their fans. If you could give your fans a nickname, like Blackstone Cherry has the Cherry Heads, right? So what would you give your fans as a nickname? How would you like lump them together? What would you call them?
Yeah, I wouldn't call them whalers.
Yeah, there was a point in time when we called them whalers.
Right.
I don't know.
I think
Guppies.
The Guppies. No, I don't know. No. Insane is probably the most like our true fans are like, I broke my clavicle. I'm like, you should go to a hospital. He's like, show's not over. So, or get it early on in the whale, we got people would send me photos of like x-rays, like this is a broken foot. And I wish at the time I kept these, but it's like, I'm like, I can't pay for that. It's like, no, I just want to let you know we rocked hard. It's like, okay. Or
that's dedication.
I mean, I get it. I love it. Like we played a show and someone kicked a hole through the floor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We've had two people propose on stage.
Yeah, which is, I don't understand it, but okay.
I've been attacked
in the
3 times.
Really?
I've been attacked 3 times on stage.
So yeah, we just call them crazy.
Yeah, just crazy.
I think I've seen a video of one of those moments.
Oh, Nate, that was Nate attacking.
Well, no, he jumped on. I never attack anybody. I never do anything.
It was Nate reacting to the guy attacking us. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He's just drunk. I mean,
drunk as fuck.
I need a warrant for his arrest, which is pretty stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Let's back up. We're in Arizona, and we're playing, right, and it's fine. And this dude's fighting with his girlfriend in the crowd, and I guess she was like, I really like this band, and he was a musician. Oh, he was playing in one of the opening bands also.
Yeah, he was opening for us.
And he has a really hard time. He's really jealous, especially when his girlfriend likes other musicians, thinks they're better than him or whatever.
Oh,
She was like, I
man.
really like this band. So he
One
got
of
into a
those.
huge thing, and he was hammered, so he just walked up and started.
He started
fucking
breaking
our-
your stuff.
Yeah, just throwing over my cymbals and shit. And
we had a big
yeah.
show in LA the next day, and I was
Oh,
like,
hell.
don't break our fucking shit.
yeah, and Nate just fucking
I didn't press charges or
Give him-
anything. I guess they asked me if I wanted to, but like
he's already going to jail.
he's
got a
going
warrant.
there. You already had a warrant for his arrest. I'm like, just let him go. He's just drunk.
Yeah. And then
Right,
we
yeah.
asked the venue for the security footage, and they gave it to us. And we're like, "Fuck
And
yes!"
all of our fans were very happy.
I feel like that should be made into a music video in some way. Like, just sneak that in.
It's 28 seconds of footage. I mean, you could try, but you just over and over and
Be
over.
surprised what you could do.
Yeah, I bet.
No, that's wild. I can't imagine. That would piss me off too.
I got in Canada, a lady jumped up on stage and somehow I'm a tall guy, I'm 6'2", and she kicked me in the back of the head and then took the microphone and chipped my tooth.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
And all the security guys.
she was having a good time.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, security! What the fuck?" There was security, and they were all at the bar drinking. All security was sitting
Oh,
at the bar.
wow.
Like, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
But we're in Canada, so it's like you shouldn't do anything. I mean, just in general. But
Yeah.
anyway,
How's the tooth now?
it's fine. Still like got a little chill right here.
Oh, you can't even tell.
No, it's okay.
Well, shout out to the security in Lexington where we met at, because those guys were ready for anything.
Were they?
Oh yeah, they didn't leave your side.
That's good.
Well, that's good.
Oh yeah.
They
All right,
wanted-
last question, gentlemen. I want to ask, we're a fan-driven experience here at Alive and Loud. So as well as I know you all, what would be a message that you'd like to tell your fans, especially right now, like where we're at in the country, where things have been with music? Like, what do you want your fans to know, and what would you like to say to them?
Buy tickets to shows. You don't know when it's going to be gone.
Don't try to sneak in. Don't try to get a favor. The best thing you can do for musicians and live music is buy a ticket and buy some merchandise from the band. And don't ever complain about a ticket price again.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right there.
And just this is it. This is how we make our living. Some other artists can stream and make money from streams,
Yeah.
but generally if you're in a small rock band like we are, this is it. The touring is it.
Right.
So yeah, buy a ticket, buy some merch, get vaccinated so we can all go back to normal. I think.
Hell yeah.
I think
Just go to shows.
go to shows.
Just
Yeah.
go to shows. Don't sit at your house and say, I'll catch him next time. Just go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
never know.
You don't know.
Yeah. And for right now, I'd say just stay strong. We're almost out of this thing. Just eyes on the prize. Everyone, just head down, grin and bear it. Eyes on the prize. That's all we can do.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. We'll have to do this again, in the future whenever we have.
Let's do it in
New
person.
music. Let's do it. Hell yeah. Let's definitely
Hell
do this in
yeah.
person. I'm actually looking to get some equipment for setting up shop and doing it in person. So
Hell yeah.
we'll do it. We'll grab a couple drinks and we'll do it, man.
Sounds great.
But if you guys want to know more about In the Well, make sure you go to their social media, their website, buy their merch, buy their tickets, check out what cities they're going to be in, because touring is back, baby. And you don't want to miss this band. I'm telling you right now, I've seen them once and that was not enough. So that's how it's going to be from now on. You see a band that's this good and you're going to want more. So listen to what Eric had to say, buy that ticket. Don't sneak in. Don't download music illegally either, because that's just the bitch way.
Anyone who's watching this, I'm not high. This is the way my eyes look. So I don't want to hear your fucking comments about how I was high the whole time. It's just how I look.
He was definitely not high, because if he was, he would have shared it. So having said that, iTunes is like what, $10 a month. You can stream it. An artist is still getting their money. Just buy the records, buy their songs.
Yeah, buy it or even stream it is fine too. That's fine with
stream
me.
it. As long as as long as it's being monetized.
Yeah.
These artists, this is what they do for a living, and they have not got to do this in over a year. And I can't even imagine what that's like, because I only do pictures and it's been killing me. So to play in front of a crowd, can't even imagine. So go out and support In the Whale in any way that you can. If you want to know how you can message us at Alive and Loud on Facebook, go to our website, aliveandloud.com, or you can go to In the Whale's Facebook page or their Instagram, or reach out to the guys, ask them how they can help, or how you can help them, promote their music. This is a crucial time for everybody, and we all should be doing this together. So,
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for the next episode. I promise you don't want to miss it. Peace.
Thanks.